it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel. Today we are continuing our journey through the wonderful world of Sepultura as they are now wrapping up their career.
Sepultura?
Sepultura. I can't say it. I can't say it.
We do the accent for this one, don't we?
I can't go Sepultura.
Sepultura.
Sepultura. And we have managed to get our way. We've done, we did Schizophrenia album. We've talked about Beneath the Remains. We talked about Arise. And we are now here on the Chaos A.D. Now, it would have been really easy to review something like either Territory or Refuse Resist, but everyone knows Refuse Resist, and I actually thought, you know what would be a really good one to do is the music video for Slave New World. I think it's a really, it's one of those ones that sometimes gets overlooked on the album of the singles that came out, because obviously there was things like Biotech's Godzilla, which is freaking just
Jello by Africa, the Dead Kennedys on that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there were some amazing tracks on there, but when you talk about the singles, everyone goes, "Oh, Chaos AD, Refuse Resist. It's got to be that one." Territory. Was it Chaos? Wasn't that off that one? Yeah, Chaos was on.
No, that's another album, isn't it?
No, I'm sure Chaos was off of Refuse Resist.
I can't remember.
Chaos.
I know they covered New Model Army, that English alternative.
The Hunt.
Yeah,
the Hunt was great as well. So there were some great songs, but I thought let's check out Slave New World. Now we're going to pause it as we talk about the song as we go through it, and give you. It's only a under 3-minute song, but I think let's go check it out and talk about it at the end. Let's go. Okay, good time to pause, because you know what? Normally we do we get to a chorus and we do a pause after the first chorus so we can talk about that structure. But I forgot about how this song doesn't have that standardized structure. It's literally, here's a riff, there's a new riff, there's another section, there's a new riff. We haven't repeated at all yet. But we were just saying, well, obviously, while you couldn't hear it while someone was playing, but we were talking about all the different influences. So we were hearing things like Biohazard hardcore breakdowns, Obituary in there.
Yeah.
We've got punk elements kicking through there. There's doom elements coming through.
Yeah.
This is a really... And then obviously there was all the tribal elements that they talk about on the next album, Roots Bloody Roots. So first thoughts from you, Andy.
This is unfamiliar. I have got the album. You mentioned in the intro, you know, the easy route would have gone to, it was like Refuse Resist and Territory. But I mean, they're songs that I can hear in my head right now. Even though I haven't played this album that much, even though I own it and I've not streamed it. So this track, I wish I'd done my homework, to be honest. I wish I'd have refreshed my memory for this Sepultura.
Well, I didn't tell you we were doing it today.
No,
so
I wish I'd have sort of refreshed my memory of this Sepultura album. But I completely agree with you about all the different elements that they're portraying. I mean, it's a fairly sort of simple riff, but you know, the intro particularly was doom. I mean, it's real. It's a real headbang. It's got me sort of intrigued to, you know, finish the project. So you know,
just see that journey through their life.
You know, actually sort of go back to this album and remind myself about, you know, how good it was. Because those tracks we mentioned a moment or two ago, you know, they're brilliant metal tracks that everybody knows. But there's some sort of hidden gems like this one. You know, don't remember this at all. I certainly haven't seen the video, put it that way, which I like the look of as well. Simple performance video in I think you mentioned Kurt's a quarry somewhere. But yeah, this is sort of maybe the sort of beginning of the end of the classic Sepultura period. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't like Roots at all.
You weren't a fan of Roots,
I mean, the earlier material I like a lot, and I say this particular album I do need to sort of give it more time.
And because of what happened with Roots, you pretty much didn't even bother checking out like later albums. You kind of skipped those completely.
Oh yeah,
there was no point for you to go back there. And then a lot of people did the same because there was no Max involved after Roots. They were like, "Fuck it." We're not
was there another Max album after Roots?
No, because the next one was Against, and that had Derek Green doing vocals in it.
Yeah, so I mean,
that wasn't a good album. Against. I'm sorry, that was really.
I mean, I'm really liking this track. I like to say I have got it, and I'm really disappointed that I haven't given it enough, airtime.
Kirky boy. Don't know what I said. Yeah, Kirky boy.
One of the forgotten singles, like Attitude from Roots. This is a song that does not stand out for me on Chaos AD, and I'm right in thinking the 3 video singles are the first 3 tracks, and then I think it's Propaganda next, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a momentous shift from the band. So they've already undergone a transition, haven't they, where they start out as this proto black metal band, and then they go from death metal into thrash, and now this is one of the first groove metal albums. I think Pantera and Prong have really set the scene. They're doing that, but what's unique, they've brought in Cro-Mags, they've brought in Sick of It All, they've been touring with Napalm Death, they're still best friends with the guys in Obituaries, that's why we're hearing all these things. And like the song Attitude from Roots, which is a forgotten single, it's not predictable, is it? This is really, to me, what 90s thrash metal sounds like. They're in drop D, I believe. They're just chugging there on the D string. Good thrash element to it, but it's not about speed anymore with this, is it? Because when you've got lower tuned guitars, you can be even heavier. And definitely a hardcore influence on here. So this is such an influential album, certainly on those harder metalcore bands, that really come into existence at the late 90s. You could argue that this is a crossover album, just coming from a different direction, from death metal to thrash to metallic hardcore. So yeah, the only thing is with this song, it just never does anything for me. I don't think it's a bad song. I just keep forgetting about it on the album.
Bad choice as a single video, do you think?
Yeah, it's too short. They could, maybe Propaganda would have been the best single.
The thing for me, so everyone knows as soon as that intro, dun, dun, you're like, oh fuck, it's Slave New World. It's hooky in that sense. But what the problem I had with this song is that you can't sing a chorus to it because there is no chorus. It's a series of riffs. This is almost like they got to the end of the album, needed a song, and went, what riffs have we got left over that we haven't used?
Maybe, yeah.
Let's play them all one after the other, and that will do. But all the riffs are great, but they never really take them into repetition. Like this riff that's going like dun is a new metal riff.
Yeah. And this is 1993.
That's where we've got to. So we're into new metal riffs at this point, going into some of the early.
But that's not even a thing, is it? In 1993. No. So when people accuse
kind of Biohazard as well.
Sepultura of becoming a new metal band, they'd already laid the scenes with this album. This is groove metal.
Which makes sense when you go into the next album. You saw like Roots, Bloody Roots, which did heavily influence in that sort of bounce.
Yeah, but it's still a unique, right? It's really avant-garde metal, really, Roots, isn't it?
But they went in a very different direction with that one. But this is a masterclass of how you basically stitch together multiple riffs in a row, and it does make sense.
And I prefer that to just a verse chorus song as well, because it keeps second guessing you as the listener, isn't it?
But when, like, if you were saying territory, it's like everyone knows 1 for territory. You can say that as soon as someone says how's territory.
Yes.
You can't say Slave New World. No, what's the I don't know. How does that come in? How does it go?
Yeah.
What happens? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know it goes dun 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 dun. So I can tell you that much. Right, let's keep going. Okay, there we go. Sepultura and Slave New World. Didn't overstay its welcome, which is good. 3 minutes of song. Let's do a wrap up on our overall thoughts then of that particular track. Andy.
The video, I mentioned performance element in the chorus. In the quarry. And Kirk, you pointed out, a shot of Igor through a sort of hole in the wall, which you really liked. There is a sort of story element. The guy, well, I thought he was getting a lobotomy at the beginning because he's getting his head shaved, and there's some sort of instruments that look like he's going to do that, but he's obviously integrating the person with a barcode tattoo into a sort of submissive society where he's being controlled. So that was sort of, ties in with the song. But one thing I did notice in the video, Max done your thing that you really hate. He took his hands off the guitar. He wasn't playing, was he?
I didn't even clock that.
Yeah,
I was too busy rocking out.
Fraction of a second. What was that sort of super group he was involved in?
Killer Be Killed.
Yeah. So he's singing and playing, but his hands are both off the guitar. It's only a fraction of a second, but there's some sort of classic Sepultura video imagery there where they're in the open, his hair's blown, which I think looks really, really cool. Again, I'll just sort of recap what I said earlier. It's an album and a song I really need to sort of revisit because that is really good stuff.
Banger.
Up there with some of their best stuff. This album, I think. The Biotech is Godzilla song that you mentioned was a bit different and not one. It stands out for me for all the wrong reasons, that particular song. But tracks like Territory and
Propaganda,
it's a really good album, and sort of almost like a typical Sepultura video. That one, the performance element integrated with some good sort of stock footage and. Like a story element as well.
Which they also did with Chaos. Refuse Resist. They did sort of again stock footage stuff as well.
Yeah.
Riot Police again. We saw that earlier in today, didn't we? With another video.
Yeah, Boys from Dead Flesh.
Yeah. So 1993, probably the most important metal band in the world at this point. There's only really Pantera that are still playing metal that's in the mainstream, and they're not compromising whatsoever. Pantera. Metal is at its all-time low. Its reputation, I would say, in 93, because grunge, even though it's heavy music, it's killed off a lot of this. And it wasn't just hair metal that suffered. The credibility of thrash somehow managed to go into decline. So Sepultura are one of the leading lights that are still doing this. They were on that Channel 4 show, The Word, and their songs are being played live on there. There's no sellout whatsoever at this point with this band. That's gruff singing throughout. My criticism of this, it sounds unfinished, this song. It's too abrupt, the ending. And every time, as you pointed out, I think there's like 11 or 12 different parts to it, and they've got that all into 3 minutes. It just doesn't make any sense. I think that's why it keeps passing me by. And on the album, when you get Propaganda, and then that, those riffs towards the end, that's just phenomenal, isn't it? So this doesn't, it's just almost innocuous, yet, as you pointed out, you know straight away with the sliding chords when they play it live what song it is. So it does have some recognisable elements. The video itself, that scene, I think this must be an abandoned chapel or a place of religious worship.
I think it's a soundstage.
I like what they've done, but it's a great shot.
That looks fake. That little thing they're looking through, that looks like it's a prop.
Is. Do you know what I'm thinking though? Do you know Minsden Chapel? Most bands in Stevenage and Hitchin have filmed there, haven't they? Minsden Chapel. You must know it. It's famous. It's near Stevenage.
No, you don't know it.
No,
Scarlet Envy do. They've had a photo shoot there. That's the type of thing you could capture there. But anyway, that's going off point. This song, I just think that this song ends too abruptly, and it sounds unfinished.
Is that because we were speaking about, they maybe need another track, and they've got all these riffs, let's just throw them all together. So it's almost like an intentional alternative kind of track for Sepultura, do you think?
I think it's unimaginative the way they've ended it.
I like the ending. I like that definitive, like, it's that intensity of like, fuck you, this is fuck you off, fuck you in your face, fuck, done. Lots of fucks. Don't give a fuck kind of mentality. But I actually think that the riffs, they've done the idea of like, we don't want to write a verse, chorus. Shouldn't be any clean. We want to tell a story. We've found a load of riffs that work well together, that are either in the same key or they're working at the same tempo, and then they put it together with how can we transition into this section. The thing that I really really like about this track is that broken up element of the different riffs. There is an intensity. You can look at the DNA of this particular song, and then you can go, like we said, we talked about Korn. It's been well known from Fieldy and I can't remember if it was either Monkey or Jonathan Davis went to, before they had even done their first album, were big fans of Sepultura and saw them live. And we were hearing one of those riffs sounded almost like something off of their, like off of Blind, or
and it predates it by a year,
and it predates it. So you can hear the influence they had on the entire metal scene. I heard Machine Head in there. We talked about there's bands like Prong. You can hear the influence that Sepultura have had on so many bands in this particular point in time. And it works amazingly well. The video is of its time, but again, still stands up to date. It still looks great. I like a 3-minute song. Do you know what? It's like a prog band that have got a radio-friendly song.
Yeah, it is.
They're like, fuck 15 minutes with loads of different structures. We can do it in 3 minutes. Fuck you, prog. That's what the Sepultura have just done.
Yeah. The one influence I do hear on this, because they've obviously changed direction from this great death thrash album, Arise, Helmet. When you listen to that album, Meantime, the guitar tone, they had such an influence on Pantera and Sepultura, and they were never really seen as a metal
weren't the
band,
best vocals, Helmet?
Oh, they're awful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
No, because he
great,
just shouts.
great riffs, and then you're like, you're a fucking awful vocalist.
Yeah, because he comes from a heart, he just shouts, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Single tracked as well.
Yeah.
And out of key, like, oh.
Not great, no.
Yeah.
But there we go. I know what my thumbnail's going to be, a 3-minute prog song. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. Sepultura and Slave New World.
Slave New World.
I got a lift. If you enjoy it, just so much saliva.
And you said fuck about 15 times as well.
Doing my Limp Bizkit song. 48 fucks in this fucked up. Right. If you enjoyed our video, I was going to say song, but if you enjoyed our video today, we're going to sing. No. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.